Football League is sponsored by Oldsmobile, who invite you to see the new 1982 Oldsmobile at your Olds dealer today. Budweiser, for all you do, this Bud's for you. And by the Sony Betamax home videotape recorder from Sony, the one and only.
Back in St. Louis, that 10-3 halftime score obviously has not changed, and while this is not the most exciting football game that Brookshire and Roger Staubach have ever done, it should be a tight second half. They held Anderson to 24 yards and 11 carries. That Giant defense plays extremely well there.
Well, they have. It's been basically a defensive game on both sides.
Yep.
The Giants have taken advantage of 2 turnovers, with George Martin run one in for a touchdown, then kicking a field goal. So It's been a mistake-type situation for the offenses, and 2 defenses that have played pretty darn good.
O'Donoghue to kick off, and the Giants will get the first possession of the second half. Right at the 5. Right at the 30-yard line. Good run back. And here are the halftime stats that Roger and I talked about briefly. Rushing yardage.
Big one there for the Cardinals. The Giants were afraid of Anderson. Of course, they've held him pretty well, shut him down with 24 yards, and the rushing game has been shut down.
Turnovers down at the bottom. Those 3 big ones, the 2 interceptions and the fumble, run in for a touchdown against St. Louis, huh? Scott Brunner. Drive to Ike Forte. Doesn't get much. Eric Williams making the stop. Lewis Jackson, I expected to see him play the tailback some today, the young rookie from San Luis Obispo. Were you surprised that Forte is getting the call instead of Jackson?
Well, Ray Perkins has pretty much tossed a coin up in the air. He hasn't been completely happy with anyone at that tailback position. They've had people hurt. Of course, Kotar's been out, so that's the position, kind of the weak area of the offense right now.
Crossbuck Forte is manhandled by Mike Dawson after about a yard gain. Going to bring up that 3rd down again. Well, actually, Coach Perkins isn't happy with much, is he? He's a pretty demanding coach.
Well, offensively, it has to be a concern to the Giants. Your defense is playing so well, and your offense can't even get a drive going where it keeps the defense off the field. It's a concern, and I still feel their offense, the only way they're going to do something today is if they hit a big play, an open receiver to a speed guy like an Ernest Ray, or a big play to a Johnny Perkins.
Here's the 3rd down call. Carpenter hooking at the 41-yard line, makes the catch. It's going to be awfully close to a first down.
He's got it, Tom.
A good pass receiver. As they say, Carpenter plays everything pretty well. Good blocker, good catcher.
He's a smart football player, too. He knew exactly where that first down was. He got it by about 1 foot. But he knew where it was, and he hooked in front of the linebacker, made sure of the first down, didn't take a step to try to fool anybody and get caught short of the first down. He just fell in that first down area, and it's a big first down for the Giants.
Ball's on the 41, first down. Handoff to Carpenter, cuts back. Boy, makes a good move and gets to the 47-yard line. Kenny Green came up and nailed him. Good move by the fullback. 6-yard pickup on first down. Scott Brunner is 6 of 15 for 58 yards. For the Giants. Carpenter with 42 yards now rushing. 3rd quarter action. Carpenter getting the call now again into St. Louis territory for another first down. Bob Pollard making the tackle. Looks like the Giants have decided to soften them up with a little bit of the inside running game suddenly.
Well, they've shown some real positive signs coming out this second half. The first half, they just couldn't get anything going on the ground. They had one or two first downs rushing, but they've come out this second half moving the football, and they need to do that. Let that defense rest over there and possibly get in for position to
a 7-7 tie, Miami and Kansas City. Well, that's another good battle. Marv Levy's done some job coaching the Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, Shula he always gets credit for being a great coach, which he certainly is. Another first down. Those numbers, by the way, the rushing yardage for Carpenter is in only 8 games. Very effective. 12 minutes left in the third period. First and 10 on the 49 of St. Louis. Play to Ike Forte, being chased. Dropped on the outside. Bodies are beginning to fly a little bit. Lee Nelson made the tackle. Forte looked like he was waiting for something to happen.
Eric Williams really spread that play out. The Cardinals, again, those linebackers are doing a good job. Dave Aarons, number 58, tries to take the inside move, and fortunately Eric Williams was the outside fighting off the blocks by the Gary Shirk, the tight end, and of course good pursuit inside, and Ike Forte had nothing.
Good tackle by the safety man. Good play, and it's second down and 13. Bruner back to throw. He keeps the backs in. Now he dumps it out in the flat to Forte, who checks out. Forte is failed at the 49-yard line by Curtis Greer, the defensive end.
Winner's cause, complete to Forte. Tackled by Junior and Greer.
They feel Junior's going to be a much better outside linebacker in this 4-3 defense. He's already shown his outside linebacker ability, his pursuit, and his ability to cover in the pass defense. And at 3-4, they tried to put him inside, and that wasn't his position. So it's worked well for the Cardinals with a 4-man front and putting Junior outside.
Is the blitz on for the Cardinals? It's 3rd and 13. Bruner now obviously going to have to go overhead, and Roy Green is not in that nickel defense. He will not play in the second half. Bruner, the blitz is on. The flag down in the pocket. Knocked away at the last minute.
Well, if he gets that ball out in front, Freedy has a chance to catch it, but there's holding back there, I believe, in the offensive backfield. He'll decline this penalty. Jeff
Griffin had pretty good position on Freedy. Offensive holding, the big rush came, and somebody had to grab, huh? Jennings is checking in now. And of course, Stump Mitchell.
Holding, number 68, offense, declined, fourth down.
J.T. Turner, the right guard. Jennings is a quarterback of sorts. He's thrown before, but I wouldn't imagine he would gamble with the lead and this early.
Don't get tricky at this stage.
Jennings kick, angling away from Mitchell. He's going to let it hit. It's a good-looking kick into the end zone. It'll come back out to the 20. St. Louis trailing 10-3. And we just saw a 52-yard punt. Jennings. 10:05 left in the third quarter. Things have got to warm up. Bill Friel, my alert spotter, just pointed out that the Giants have only allowed 34 points all year long in the third period. That's their best defensive period. And they played pretty tough in the first half. Lomax on 1st and 10. Hand off to Anderson. Got it. Followed his guard, gets through the hole. O.J. Anderson is off to the races, out over the 40, to the 44-yard line. I think that's the 47-yard line. Harry Carson finally made the tackle on Anderson.
Well, that's Anderson's first big run of the day, and Bill Courier comes across the line of scrimmage, does his job, and he forces the run inside, but the pursuit right here, Harry Carson has a shot at him, and he dipped inside. Anderson made a nice move, dipped inside. They got a block on Carson, and that sprung Anderson loose.
Bostic, the big guard, got through the hole cleanly and really opened it up for him. A 28-yard gain for Anderson. 52 yards total for O.J. Back to Anderson running the same hole and getting through again to the 46-yard line. Beasley Reese fell on him. 218 or 20 pounder that when he wants to run and wants to put his head down, he can bang people too. Some big days against the Giants, but not earlier this year in the Meadowlands.
4 yards to go.
Look at those numbers. Last year, 168. Looks like he's got it going. Second down and 4. Handoff to Anderson, cutting back again, weaving his way through to almost the 40-yard line on the first down. Crowd loves it.
They're running to Taylor's side, and that's not a bad objective right there. Run towards the guy that pursues so well, and Combs does a good job, throws him to the ground. Like a little bit of holding there, but he did his job, got Taylor out of the way, and Anderson cut back inside.
Looks like Jim Hannaford and the staff got together and said, let's run it, Lawrence Taylor. At least we know where he's going to be. We can
That's right.
identify. It's 1st and 10 on the 41. I formation. Lomax hasn't thrown in this half. Now he will. He's back. He's being hit by Hunt and dropped. Back in St. Louis territory at the 47.
That was a good blitz that time. They had Hunt coming from one side, Taylor the other side, and that time they picked up Taylor well. And also Courier, the strong safety, was coming. So they went to pick up on Courier, and Hunt really was the guy that broke free off of a play-action fake. Good blocking on Taylor on the other side. Here's Hunt breaking free. The O.J. Anderson had to make a decision. He blocked Courier, and that brought Hunt free. When you have a strong safety linebacker coming the same side, that's a tough blitz.
Well, you would know about that. They used to try to blitz you. They didn't call you Roger the Dodger for nothing, right? Second down and 19. LaFleur's in motion, the tight end. Lomax with time this time. Now he's dancing. Jeter's got him, and he gets away and dumps it to Combs, number 80, and Combs gets to the 40-yard line. Far short of the first down.
Now the play was really a late developing play, and Otis Anderson was coming across the field. Someone's hurt for the Giants way downfield that time.
Courier, the safety man.
But Harry Carson just popped Anderson, knocked him down. And then Lomax came late to Combs across the field, and there's Courier. Boy, that would be a tough loss there. Courier's done a great job giving some stability, leadership in that secondary. Whenever there's been any confusion over there, Courier's put people, set them straight, and put them in the right defenses.
6:53 left in the third period. It's heating up now. It's 10-3 Giants.
Saturday, it's their final game of the regular season, and the playoff-bound Dallas Cowboys take aim at the New York Giants. Be a part of the NFL action Saturday on CBS Sports.
Hello again. The Giants with a 10-3 lead. That was scored when Martin rambled with a fumble for a touchdown, and Danilo kicked a 27-yard field goal. Cardinals got on the board their first possession with a field goal by O'Donoghue, and they've blown quite a few opportunities since then. It's 3rd down and 9, facing Neil Lomax.
Here they come. Here they come.
The blitz is on, and the blitz gets him. The 46-yard line. Taylor put the numbers on him.
Now, they're just not ready for the blitz either, the Cardinal offense. The only receivers he had were all downfield, all past 15 yards, and there was no one to go to on the blitz. And this was a max blitz. This just wasn't one linebacker coming or even two. They brought 3 people this time, and it was along with the 3-man front. There's 6 guys coming in on Lomax. They've got to have a quick alternate route to someone, and he had everybody downfield, nobody to go to.
What a charge by Neal, the nose tackle. He took 2 blockers and put them right back in the quarterback's lap. Birdsong will be kicking from about the 35, and Leon Bright's waiting on the Giant 10. Birdsong, low driving kick. Number 24 takes it over there. Jackson's down the right sideline to about the 36. Chris Combs shoved him out of bounds. A flat, low kick. It doesn't give your coverage team much of a chance.
Got another injured player down the sidelines. Giant. You're right, that was a low kick. Jackson scooped that up in good shape. Got on the line drive, and that's Flowers. Boy, I tell you, he came in for Courier for 37, so that could be a problem for the Giants, that strong safety position.
10-3. Hello again. And the Giants with a 10-3 lead. That was scored when Martin rambled with a fumble for a touchdown, and Danilo kicked a 27-yard field goal. Cardinals got on the board their first possession with a field goal by O'Donoghue, and they've blown quite a few opportunities since then. It's 3rd down and 9, facing Neil Lomax.
Here they come. Here they come.
The blitz is on, and the blitz gets him. 46-yard line. Taylor put the numbers on him.
Now, they're just not ready for the blitz either, the Cardinal offense. The only receivers he had were all downfield, all past 15 yards, and there was no one to go to on the blitz. And this was a max blitz. This just wasn't one linebacker coming or even two. They brought 3 people this time, and it was along with the 3-man front. There's 6 guys coming in on Lomax. They've got to have a quick alternate route to someone, and he had everybody downfield, nobody to go to.
What a charge by Neal, the nose tackle. He took 2 blockers and put them right back in the quarterback's lap. Birdsong will be kicking from about the 35, and Leon Bright's waiting on the Giant 10. Birdsong, low driving kick. Number 24 takes it over there. Jackson. Jackson's down the right sideline to about the 36. Chris Combs shoved him out of bounds. A flat, low kick. It doesn't give your coverage team much of a chance.
Got another injured player down the sidelines. Giants. You're right, that was a low kick. Jackson scooped that up in good shape. Got on the line drive, and that's Flowers. Boy, I tell you, he came in for Courier for 37, so that could be a problem for the Giants, that strong safety position.
10-3. A few of Santa's helpers back here in St. Louis on a beautiful day. And the Giant bench, they've got a couple of injuries in that secondary, but right now the offense is on the field. Bruner back to throw, dumping it out in the flat. That's Leon Bright at the 35-yard line and run out of bounds. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York City for an update.
Rookie, the Green Bay Packers are crawling all over New Orleans. Maurice Harvey, who was struck by that car on Friday in Plain, his 2nd interception, but listen to this. Lynn Dickey is 16 of 18 for 169 yards and 4 touchdowns as he hit Paul Kaufman after the interception. Let's go back to Tom Brookshire.
Nobody's come further than Lynn Dickey, that's for sure, Brent. Injuries and all, he has really come back. Inside handoff to Bright, who breaks out. A big hole opened up on that left side, and Bright is inside the 40. And now he is knocked back out over the 40.
Well, he dropped the ball and went to pick it up, and that was a mistake right there. Lee Nelson popped him after he picked the ball up. Nice play. It was a fake to the fullback, a kind of a play-action draw, and Bright broke through the middle, and he's got some speed. He, of course, breaks into that secondary and almost jumps over someone, and he would have kept his feet, would have been down the sideline. Here it is. There's the fake, the inside handoff to Bright. He breaks through the line of scrimmage. He's got 169 yards this year. He's caught 27 passes, been valuable return and punts, and of course now he's a running back. A lot of value there also. Watch him put the ball down and then pick it up and get popped again.
Ball's on the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Big run by Bright. Here's the flea flicker. Carpenter back to Bruner going down the sideline for Ernie Gray, and can't hang on to it. 5-yard line. Jeff Griffin covering. And now the flag has been dropped. And also is telling you that they think it's going to be called against Griffin.
Also, Gray stepped out of bounds. Came back in to catch that, and the referee marked the ball there, so he wouldn't have caught anyway. I think it's against the Giants.
Illegal receiver, you mean?
Number 83, an original eligible receiver, went out of bounds, came back in, was the first to touch the ball. The penalty is loss of down at the previous spot.
Lost him down.
Pretty explicit there.
Gray went out of bounds and came back in. In the old days, you used to try to shove receivers out of bounds. You could use that sideline and try to play defense. Some scores, as you know, 4 TD passes by Dickey, 28-7, rolling over New Orleans. Theismann laid it on the Colts, 35-14. And San Diego hanging 24 over Tampa Bay, but that's in the third quarter. Bruner straight back. Getting some heat now, dumps it out in the flat. Forte has it to about the 35. And now the flags are down again.
It's going to be a late hit on the sideline. Referees are really calling those. Teams should learn from that. They call them fairly quick, but once a guy gets out of bounds, just leave him alone. It's going to be costly for the Cardinals.
Particularly in your own territory. Of course, the rules have been put into effect to protect players from injury. And sometimes when you step out of bounds, you relax.
Well, that's costly right there. That's 15 big yards.
Whistle flag. Late hit out of bounds. At least 2 players on the defense. First down.
At least 2 players on the defense.
Yeah, that'll give him 30 yards for that. 15 a player. Here he goes. He's heading for the out of bounds right there. Now, you know, that really doesn't look that flagrant. But again, he's out of bounds. You can't hit him.
Bruner going across the middle. Perkins makes his first catch of the day and then fumbles the ball. The Cardinals have got to get some special team impetus if they're going to get back in this game. Danello will be kicking and Stump Mitchell will be accepting. A good high kick, a good hang time at the 3-yard line. Mitchell, running for his life, gets out over the 15 as Missler, the receiver, went down and made the tackle.
Yeah, Missler really had good containment to the outside. The Cardinals.
The Cotton Bowl on CBS. Alabama's Crimson Tide against the Texas Longhorns on New Year's Day, and you're going to be doing that game, aren't you?
To watch the Big Bear and go against Texas.
In Texas, so you'll be home. That's a pretty good assignment.
Not bad.
For you. Not bad. And a good football game, a great thing. I've always loved the Cotton Bowl. It's a special one. On CBS, 1:41 left in the third period. Lomax, quick throw to the outside. Pat Tilley. He doesn't get much. Haynes was all over.
Of course, the fans are yelling. They want the referees to call something on the sidelines. Haynes just threw him out of bounds after that last series. Of course, the big play was the call against the Cardinals on the sideline.
Boy, what a switch Gary Glick made when the defensive coach put Jackson at right corner and moved Haynes to left corner. There's probably the set of quarterbacks right now is almost in the division.
I'd say Haynes has got an excellent chance to be in the Pro Bowl this year. He's been very consistent the whole year at cornerback.
Lynn Dickey just threw his 5th touchdown pass of the afternoon for Green Bay. We'll get that in a minute. Anderson. Blocking's gone. Anderson stays out over on his feet out over the 20. Taylor making the first contact. There's that Green Bay score. They're laying it on. Bum Phillips and company, 35-7.
Green Bay struggled there for about 2 or 3 weeks, which was 3 weeks back when Dickey was out of lineup. But since he's been back, they've been hot as a firecracker.
Beat the Giants twice.
That's right. Miami's a big game for Miami today. Kansas City still has an outside shot at it, so they're going at it.
3rd down and 4 on the 22. Giant defense has put the clamps on this Cardinal offense. A lot of receivers are out. Lomax dancing and throwing. Good throw. And it's caught by Gray. No, it's not caught by Gray. A diving tries. Terry Jackson came out on top.
Well, Courier's back in the game. He's a tough cookie. He has probably have a sore ankle tomorrow. He turned it, limped off the field, but he's back in there. You know, the Cardinals are hurting right now. Green is out. Ken Green, their fine safety. He's got 7 interceptions this year, and Roy Green. So they're hurting a little bit in that secondary.
Here's Birdsong. He's having trouble getting his signal now. He's going to waste a timeout trying to get a punt off.
Oh, the fans love that, don't they?
One of the 3 timeouts is going to be used to get a punt off. you know what happened in the first half? They didn't get a field goal off because they were out of timeout.
Jim Hannafin's walking over, talking to, I'm sure, the specialty coach, saying, hey, what's going on? That's a frustrating situation for a coach. Cost 3 timeouts the first half they didn't need. There's Jim, and he's not saying Merry Christmas either, I promise you that.
43 seconds left in the third quarter. It is wild, isn't it? Almost 50,000 people are very unhappy. The Cardinals just used one of their timeouts because they had 10 men on the punting team. The 11th man will probably be on a bus out of here tomorrow. Birdsong's back to punting. It's a pretty good punt. That's Bright at the 34-yard line. Leon Bright struggles to the 40-yard line. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York City.
The Packers have done it again. Lynn Dickey, his 5th touchdown pass of the day, 30 yards to John Jefferson. And right now, Brookie, he is 19 of 21 for 218 yards. The Jets and the Packers will be some showdown on CBS next Sunday. Back to you in St. Louis.
Oh, that's for sure. That's going to be some showdown. And don't forget that Detroit has to play Tampa Bay next Sunday on CBS. 1st and 10 on the 40. Here's a handoff. Leon Perry. Perry gets good yardage on that first down running play. The backup quarterback is now playing safety for the Cardinals. All the greens are out.
The greens are gone. Roy Green they missed in every area, especially offense and defense.
Of course, next Saturday, or pardon me, next right here on the CBS television network, the Eagles, a team I used to play for, against the Dallas Cowboys, a team that...
Well, there's a lot of talk in the Dallas papers about this game. They're really fired up about it. Of course, the Eagles lost 3 in a row. They're going to be going in there looking for Bear.
I know it. It's going to be a big one. That's the end of the third quarter. The score, 17-3 Giants over the Cardinals. We'll be back at the start of the fourth quarter after this word from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota, who invite you to visit your local Toyota dealer and see the sporty new SR5 Sport Truck. Atari. And by AC Delco General Motors Corporation. Over 50 years of quality automotive replacement components.
Head man Ray Perkins came in with his team at 7-7. He has a 17-3 lead with 15 minutes left in the fourth period, and the Giants are still a wild card possibility. Here's the toss back to Carpenter. Carpenter down to the 45-yard line, taking people with him. Carpenter, the ball carrier. First down running play has been very successful for the Giants today.
Well, Leon Perry had a nice run before. Leon Bright in that last drive where the Giants scored with a couple of penalties that helped, but Leon made the big run. Carpenter's had some nice runs on first down also, so they have done a very good job on first down running the football.
Carpenter with 62 yards on 18 carries. A workhorse. 2nd down 5. The horse is still on his feet and hanging people inside the 40 to the 37. Pollard made the tackle. Hard-nosed football player here.
Good blocking at the point of attack that time. J.T. Turner and Clack and Ard at least give Carpenter some running room, and he just bowls his way in. It takes a quarterback, number 16, playing weak safety for Ken Green, to finally bring Carpenter down. Carpenter's the type of runner, though. He takes a lot of punishment when he runs, and he needs someone back there to compliment him, take some of that workload away from him.
He dishes out some punishment, too. It's 13:40 left on the clock here. 1st and 10. Perry spinning to the 32-yard line. There's the St. Louis coach. This team has come from a 52-10 loss to Philadelphia. Then they shut out Buffalo, and they have 4 in a row going, but they trail here 17-3.
Well, Pat Hodgson was talking to the receiver coach for the Giants, was talking to Hannafin before the game. Said, boy, your game against Philadelphia is going to be tough next week. I heard him on the field. That's a little psychology, trying to get him to forget about this game. You got to win this one before that was a big game.
Second down 5. Carpenter, the tailback now, is pulled down around the line of scrimmage by Eric Williams. Good defensive play.
Tackled by Williams.
Well, Williams has done a good job all day. Lee Nelson's over there to help also. Another fine defensive back, former quarterback.
Good tackler, too. Ahrens is down, the young man, the rookie from Wisconsin. What a find he was.
Yeah, Tim Carney's on the injury reserve, and they've lost some linebackers, and that's one of the reasons they've gone to that 4-man front with 3 linebackers. And here's a young rookie that stepped in a tough position, that middle linebacker slot, and has really done a good job.
Third down and 5. Giants had a pretty good drive to get their last touchdown, a 1-yard plunge by Carpenter, aided by a penalty here and there. And they're waiting now for Ahrens, the young man, to get up on his feet. The Giants have 12:37 left, and they lead 17-3. A linebacker's life is pretty tough.
Yeah, here's the hit right here on Ahrens. He gets popped by J.T. Turner, number 68, and then also hit from the other side. And he did walk off the field. Might have a hip pointer, got the wind knocked out of him, but he was pretty well clean on that play.
12.5 minutes. The Giants would be 8-7.
It's about time to hit Big Dave Young. He's in there now for sure, kind of 3rd and 6.
Bruner on 3rd and 6. He's got Carpenter out of the backfield and hits him with the ball, and he can't hold on to it. Right at the 6. Good coverage by E.J. Jr. Catchable.
It's been a tough catch there. That ball was out in front, and Jr. was right on him. It would have been a nice catch. I think if he would have caught the ball, he still would have been about a yard short of the first down, because he couldn't have run with it. He had to dive to catch it. There's the ball's out in front. Well, it was catchable. He could have caught that football, facing the replay there.
Danello's already kicked a 27-yarder. Joe Danello with 100 field goals in his career in the National Football League. It'll be a 49-yard field goal attempt, and it left out to the right. It was long enough and strong enough. He just hit the right side of the fairway with that one. So the Cardinals get the ball back with 12:09 left and trailing 17-3. Will Hart come in for Lomax, or will Lomax remain as the quarterback? We'll find out.
Mondays, it's America's most watched pregame show. And when you want to know the score, see the highlight, and find out why, it's the NFL Today on CBS Sports.
Lomax is still the quarterback. There's a time on the clock. Each team was 7-7 coming in. As we said, the loser might as well trim the Christmas tree. The toss back to Anderson to the outside. Has a little room, trying to cut back. That's what he does best, out to the 35. Jeter stopped him. Lomax is 10 of 20 for 112 yards and 1 interception. Would you have brought Jim Hart, the veteran, back in and tried to change the...
I think the way this game's going, that wouldn't be a bad move. If they were out of it, the season was over, Lomax would need the experience, but they're in the thick of it. If they would win today and beat Philadelphia next week, they, of course, have a shot at that wild card, so they need to win this football game, and Lomax is not hot at this moment. Maybe Hart could get something going.
Second down 6. Straight drawback. Lomax pumping now, trying to go deep. Throws an off-balance shot at Tilley. Big pass rush by Neal with nose tackle.
Well, that's the same play they tried before. The rush was in there. They faked the pump to Tilley in the down end. He had Gray going deep. But he's backpedaling, trying to get rid of this ball, and the rush has really been a factor today. Good job by Neal over the middle. He just bowls his way over there. Tom Brahaney is pushed back, and Lomax never could get a long throw into that play anyway, even if he had Gray open, which he didn't.
New York now, if they would win, would go 8-7. They would go 4-3 in their division, and they would go 7-6 in the NFC, and they would have a chance if they could beat Dallas next Saturday for a playoff spot. Third down and 6. Dumps to Anderson in the right flat. Good tackle. Mark Hayes made a super shoestring.
They're going to get piling on that time, either by Hayes or 55 Kelly. That's one of those plays that, again, makes it Coach Gray early. You have a team stopped, you let them out of the hole.
A little bit of a late hit.
Yeah, I think Kelly got in there a little late.
How late is late when it's an Anderson? You know, if you don't gang tackle him, the coach will run you off.
That's right. But you still don't want to make a mistake at this stage.
Unnecessary roughness, late hit, number 55 defense, first down.
Brian Kelly, the guy used to hang around your training camp.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, too. Nice guy getting a late hit. Here's Haynes making the play that stops the first down, and there's Kelly. Now, you know, that helmet did not spear him, and he got over the body, though, and he hit him, and I would say that was a little bit questionable.
Ball's on the 49, first down, 10, and this is Anderson sliding away from the 46-yard line. Bill Neal making the tackle.
Jim Hart with Worley. Since Worley's grown that beard and moved over to that left cornerback spot, he's had a fine year these last 4 games. Early in the year, he was on the bench. But he's a good one.
What about Jim Hart? Is he going to retire, or does he get along with Hannafin that well?
I don't know. I don't think he gets along with Hannafin extremely well, being on the bench, and I think Hart's got some football left in him.
Second down and 5. LaFleur's in motion to tight end. Lomax dancing, and now throws it late and behind.
Well, there's nobody open either. They're keeping the backs in to block the blitz. There's 3 receivers downfield. LaFleur was down there, Gray, Tilley, all well covered. And when you see a quarterback jumping around that pocket, you know he's unsure of himself. And with that blitz and the containment on the outside, they're preventing Lomax from scrambling. That's what the Giants wanted to do, was prevent him from scrambling. When they blitzed, they felt they were going to put pressure on him, but they didn't want to get him out of that pocket, and they've contained him. They've done an excellent job containing him, plus their coverage is good in the secondary.
You know, he had 7 touchdowns in 1 quarter in college. That even breaks one of your Navy records.
Right.
Maybe a lot of your Navy records. Third down, call it 5.
Here they come again.
Keep the backs in, trying to keep the blitz off. Now Lomax is running and being chased by Hunt. Dumps it off, and Kelly makes the tackle. Anderson ended up with the ball. I don't think he wanted it.
Well, I'd say that Hunt's an impressive football player that time. Lomax did start inside, then started to break outside, and looked like he might get around the corner to make a big play to throw it downfield, and Hunt just showed some speed and contained him, and he had to dump it off to Anderson, and of course that was well short of the first down.
There's Hannafin trying to change things. People are not in the game on the kicking, on the punting team again. Birdsong has to wait. Beasley Reese is the lone safety man for New York. And there's a final score. 5 touchdown passes. Green Bay rolling over New Orleans 35-7.
Well, it's going to be action in New York next week with the Giants and Green Bay playing the Jets.
Birdsong. Flags are down. Flag is down. Somebody must have released too soon. A good kick by Birdsong. Harold, or Stump Mitchell, puts it down inside the 5.
Might be against the Cardinals.
So obviously the Giants will make him kick it again.
That's just not going the Cardinals' way now.
Illegal formation. 12 men on the field on the kicking team. Interception, 5 yards, and a 3-point foul.
Well, the Cardinals had 10 men on at one time, called a timeout. Now they've got 12 on. So they just...
I'd rather have too many on than too few. If you're going to gang up, you might as well have superior numbers. Hannafin is hot.
Yeah, he is. I don't blame him. If team that's played so well the last 4 weeks to make the mistakes they've made today, using timeouts when they haven't needed them, and they've shown some confusion getting their plays in.
Birdsong is now going to re-punt. He had a tremendous punt that he dropped inside the 5. Leon Bryant is back waiting. He hasn't had a fair catch this year either. It's a high kick. Bryant is still not going to have a fair catch. Takes it at the 19-yard line.
That's worth 25 yards to him on that penalty.
I mean, half the punting team tackled it on the far sideline. It's a wild and crazy game. 17-3. Giants on top. Tonight on CBS starts with 60 Minutes. Then an all-star party for Burt Reynolds. That's a special that nobody should miss. And the 6th annual Circus of the Stars. And if that tiger or that wildcat, they hurt Kathy Bach in that circus show, I'll go out and shoot that animal. From the Dukes of Hazzard here on CBS. Okay. 1st and 10 for the Giants on their own 27. Scott Bruner handoff to Carpenter. Carpenter breaks a tackle, gets outside. And it's a good thing the backup quarterback was in there.
Carpenter, he's mad at a face mask right there. He's claiming that Lish probably pulled his face mask.
Can't trust those quarterbacks, boy. They'll go for the jugular.
So you got a quarterback at weak safety.
A pretty good play, though.
I'd work on him.
Quarterback making the tackle.
There's the play. Carpenter does have a gripe right there. He hasn't hired an attorney on that one. He's got a good case.
A 5-yard pickup, and he gets it again. What a big pileup at the 35. Mike Dawson, Big Mike in there. Number 73 makes the tackle. A strange game. Strategy by the Cardinals has baffled me since the first quarter.
Here's Eric Williams also. Here's a big one right here. Tampa Bay has pulled ahead of San Diego.
2 TDs by Wilder in 20 seconds for Tampa.
Wow.
And John McKay said as soon as he started calling the plays, he knew things would straighten out. Third down and 3. 8:38 on the clock. Bruder back to throw on 33. Across the middle. That's Perkins making the catch at the 41.
Good play there. It's the first down.
Johnny Perkins, he's been the receiver for the Giants really all year. Came in with 49 catches, 6 touchdowns, and he stayed healthy this year. And, of course, that is the name of the game.
He and Wilbert Montgomery played together at Abilene Christian. Johnny's come into his own this year, as you mentioned, Tommy, with those 6 touchdowns. He's made some big plays for the Giants.
Still a playoff possibility. That's what the Giants are thinking about. Carpenter breaks it back against the grain into the open. Over the 40, still on his feet to the 34-yard line. And the quarterback, Lish, makes the tackle again. Carpenter cut back away from the flow. And this time he got out.
Lish barely got him down. Here he is. He does come back against the flow and breaks it. It's a kind of a counter route. He starts to that side, breaks to the right side, and he's got people confused. Had Pollard pursuing, over pursuing, and there's Lish, the last man that really has a chance right here. He grabs him, and Carpenter almost pulls loose, trips over his feet there, and Lish grabs an ankle, and he's down.
On 29-yarder, Carpenter now 111 yards on 23 carries. His 4th 100-yard day in 1981 for the Giants. That's Leon Terry with the ball.
Terry, the ball carrier, tackled by Griffin.
The Giants, if they win this game and there's 6:45 left, would be 8-7 and play the Eagles in Philadelphia. And of course, don't forget, following this game, the Eagles against the Dallas Cowboys, and that could be considered a grudge match.
Dallas has lost 17 or 18 games in a row. They have won in Texas. They haven't lost there since 2 years ago.
Harry on the toss play. Inside the 30 with a jump. DJ Jr. and Shirk almost get into the fight.
Leon Perry reminds me a little bit of Robert Newhouse. He's got that bowling ball running style, and he'll just hit you head on and got enough quickness to get into the hole and do some damage. He's got 214 yards this year. He hasn't played a great deal, but when he's played, he's been a factor. Well, the Cardinals are hurting. Eric Williams came out 55 before. Now Pollard's out. Ken Green's out. Roy Green. The Giants have beat him up today.
Pollard is limping off now. A good pass rushing defensive end. Giants are eating the clock alive. Bruner back to throw. He's going to run with it now himself. He follows the football.
Right in the hands of number 45, Leon Bright.
Curtis Greer made the tackle that caused it.
Bruner had about 5 yards to go for the first down. He saw an opening right here, and he's not used to running that football. And those guys are vulnerable that aren't used to running the football. He gets popped right here, loses it, but the ball's bouncing New York's way. Here comes Leon Bright with his alertness. Picks it up.
At 6'5", 200 pounds, he's not built like Marcus Allen. 4:36 left. Straight ahead, Rob Carpenter to the 15-yard line. The ball carrier.
This Giant offense in the second half, since the middle of, they came out at the half and had a 3 first down drive, punted. But since then, they've played pretty well on offense, moving the football. Carpenter over 100 yards. Leon Bright's had a nice run. Perry's had a couple good runs. They've hit a few passes to keep the drive going, a few penalties in their favor, and it's been an offensive performance. Kept the defense on the sidelines. The defense has been rested this second half.
I met Scott Bruner at a Maxwell luncheon, a football luncheon when he was at Delaware. I never thought I'd see him in professional football, you know. He's a nice-looking guy. Straight ahead goes Carpenter. He's bright and everything, you know. But all quarterbacks, I guess, are.
You know, he said I heard him when I talked to him about that luncheon. He said he didn't think he'd ever see you doing play-by-play.
Makes two of us, right? We got a friendly bet on this afternoon. Later on.
I think Dallas is rolling right now. The Eagles are talking to themselves, putting a lot of pressure on themselves also.
Well, they like to be back to the wall. That's what they say.
Well, they're back to the wall.
Nowhere else to go now. The Giants, 3:20 on the clock, and they will have won their 8th game.
Bruner's going to probably use a timeout here. He's going to be...
That's not too dumb a thing to do.
Not on 3rd and 2, and they've got things under control. Smart move, but some of the confusion that plagued St. Louis early in the game, and it was costly for St. Louis before the half. It probably prevented at least a field goal. And St. Louis really hasn't recovered from it.
Coach and quarterback talk it over. Giants 17-3.
As the season counts down and the playoffs are dead ahead, stay with the winners, the NFL on CBS Sports.
Tom Brookshire with Roger Staubach in St. Louis. The Giants have been careful and used that good defense and some offense, and they lead 17-3. And they're driving. They're on the 13-yard line. It's 3rd down and 2. Cardinals look like they're lining up offside. Here's Leon Bright. Oh, it's Leon Bright hit with a tackle.
And there's a holding.
35. Jeff Griffin, the Utah rookie, really made a good defensive tackle. Flags are down.
I think Leon Perry might get a holding call.
To me, like the Cardinals lined up offsides almost, but I guess not. I think Leon Bright likes to get hit hard, you know it? Won't fair catch. 8 guys tackling. He got nailed that time by Griffin.
Now, Griffin's a hitter. He's that rookie cornerback's done a fine job, and they say he really hits. And I believe him now.
What's this wild card situation look like to you, Roger? I don't want you to try to explain that.
We'd probably end up in the middle of the Cowboy game, maybe in the 60 minutes if I try to explain that. But I think the East, there's a chance that both wild card teams who come from the East,
NFC East,
on the East, if the Eagles and the Giants have a shot at it, then you got to throw Green Bay in there.
And worry about home field, huh?
Yeah.
They would go probably give San Francisco, perhaps, huh? Be an awful place to go travel.
Holding. Number 80 on the offense.
Couldn't hear the number there.
Garbled message. I didn't pick up that person.
12 yards to go.
Melody's in there. Now number 88's coming on. That's Freedy. Melody's going out. Third down and 12. Handoff to Carpenter. Good blocking on the outside by J.T. Turner. And Carpenter gets pretty close to that 15-yard line. Limping a little bit. And Joe Danello comes on.
Yeah, Carpenter is limping off the field.
The Italian of the Year in Northern Jersey, Joe Danello. Bruner will hold. A 34-yard field goal attempt. The Giants are saying it is good, and the officials think likewise.
You know, Joe read one of the epistles at Mass this morning. I sat next to him.
Did you go to church this morning, too?
Yeah, I thought I'd throw that in for all the Catholics watching. Joe did a nice job. About as nice a job as that field goal right there.
20-3. Canella's second field goal. Missed one from 49 just by about a yard. That was a 33-yarder. All right, next Saturday it starts with the NFL Today with Brent and all the gang back in New York, and then it's Dallas against the Giants. And the Giants played the Cowboys extremely well early in the year down at Texas Stadium.
A few breaks, the Giants would have won that game.
The rest of that schedule, look at they're all important. Tampa Bay at Detroit, that's going to decide the Central Crown. St. Louis at Philadelphia, and the Cardinals can sure make it tough on the Eagles. Green Bay at the New York Jets. There's a big game. San Francisco at New Orleans. And the Redskins go against the Rams.
What a weekend in New York on Saturday with the Cowboys and the Giants in the Meadowlands. And you go right back to Shea for a big one with Green Bay and the Jets.
Ronaldo kicking off from the 35. Stump Mitchell. Frustrated at the 5. Don't let him get outside. Over the 35 and it's run into the Giant bench. Good return by Stump Mitchell. He's a tough, good football player.
I think that the Eagles, of course, will have a big game against the Cardinals. The Cardinals now, of course, the game won't be so big for them, and the injury situation, if we see that injury report right now, is going to be very bleak. Eric Williams is hurt. Kenny Green, Roy Green, a few other guys have limped off the field.
This team misses Roy Green, too. Roy Green is a multifaceted player for them. Lomax back to throw. He's only got 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Wayne Morris making that catch.
Well, he's got 2 timeouts left.
2 timeouts left, huh? Yep. And a 2-minute warning. Keep going back to the Giants. They'll be 4-3 in the division and 7-6 in the NFC and 8-7. And they've lost to. Lomax is 13 of 25 for only 116 yards. That's not much per completion, is it?
He's had 4 good weeks, Tom, and he's really been inconsistent today and at times confused. He's not had a good day, but there's a lot of bright days ahead for that talent. He has the talent. He's a young guy thrown into his first really pressure game. A must-win for the Cardinals. Of course, they have not played well today.
2 minutes and 17 points down. The ball is thrown away from Pat Tilley. The flag has been dropped for interference call, but Haynes had pretty good position.
Might have been Tilley pushing off.
How about what Perkins said about Tilley yesterday? That if he had 2 Pat Tilleys, he'd start one at the left side and he'd flank the other one to the right side. He likes it.
Yeah, Pat's really an underrated football player. It's going to be against the Giants. He, of course, caught 58 passes this year, had a big year last year. He's always making a key play, and this last 4-game streak, he's been the receiver that Lomax has relied on downfield, and has made some big plays for the Cardinals. Well, they're changing their mind now.
He has a toothache. I saw him before the game, and he had a tooth that was giving him a problem.
They get it for holding instead of interference downfield, which will bring it back to the line of scrimmage and get the 5 yards from the line of scrimmage.
There we go, contact. Number 36, defense, automatic first down.
The Giants have held Pat Tilley to 2 receptions for only 11 yards, and the interference. Look at the numbers on Pat Tilley.
And that illegal contact, those are great numbers. That means that Haynes hit the receiver before the ball was in the air, and that's the reason they bring it back to the line of scrimmage.
Automatic first down, 1:54 left. Lomax at the front. The draw play to Anderson. Martin did not get fooled, and Neal came in to make the tackle too. Anderson has 76 yards on 17 carries.
Well, half of it was in that one run he made, that one long run. Other than that, he's been shut down.
Cincinnati-Pittsburgh, 17-10 in the 4th period. Franco Harris just scored on a 3-yarder. Was Taylor offside? The flags are down. Anderson just in the Giant territory.
Taylor was offside.
That meant he was coming on that from that side, which is scary indeed. Where's Big Dan Deardorff? He looks pretty small to be about 290, doesn't he? So you walk up next to him.
One thing about Taylor, I'm sure that Dallas will be thinking about, it's hard to block Taylor with the running back, so you got to put a tight end to that side, at least to give him some people to maneuver around, or pull a guard or a center.
Number 56, defense, repeat, second down. Will the clock operator please put 3 seconds back on the clock? The correct time should read 1:08.
Well done.
Well, that can make a big difference in the
Put
game.
3 seconds back on the clock.
You know, again, with Taylor pulling out a guard or a center, someone that at least has some size to block him. He's just he's a horse in himself. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. When he comes from that weak side, it's just that momentum. He can run over people. And even if he has someone blocking him, he can still get to the quarterback.
The clockmaker must have gone home early. They still haven't put those 3 seconds on. Lomax is back on second at 6. Batted around by LaFleur and dropped.
There's a guy the Cardinals like. The Eagles let him go. He hasn't caught a pass today. They haven't gone to their tight end today, and they haven't gone downfield very much in their passing game period. A lot of it has to do with the pressure the Giants have put on Lomax. They've contained him. They've prevented him from making the big play. But other than that pass to Green early in the game, there hasn't been many big passing plays for the Cardinals.
Boy, LaFleur is some prospect. The Eagles hated to... He was the 46th player when they cut down to 45. He ended up at St. Louis, and he's going to be dynamite. 1:01 on the clock. Carroll and Anderson in the backfield. Dancing and throwing a pass that may be intercepted almost by Haynes, intended for Anderson.
That would have been intercepted by Haynes, but he slipped trying to get back to that ball, and if he hadn't slipped, of course, he would have caught the ball easily. Again, it's a summary of Lomax. He's stammering, stuttering in that pocket, jumping around. That means he's not sure of himself, and Haynes slips trying to get back to this ball, or he would have intercepted it easily.
I'd like to alert our viewers in Philadelphia that the National Football League requires us to leave this game at the present time to give you the Eagles-Dallas Cowboys game in its entirety. We'll be switching to Texas Stadium in Dallas. And of course, those viewers will be kept up to date on the state of this game as well as all the day's action. I wish I could be watching that right now myself. Makes the catch on the outside, down the sidelines with his shoulder pads flying. His third catch, Beasley Reese scooted him out of bounds. Cardinals had 16 yards passing. That was before that pass in the second half.
It's a big challenge for the Giants now. They just have a little pride in themselves. They don't want to allow a touchdown by the Cardinals. Their defense has played an outstanding game, and they want to keep that momentum up.
You going to watch the game, Dallas, Philadelphia, or are you going to get on the airplane?
Well, I'll catch just part of it, then I'll be on an airplane.
You got your little TV set with you, though, don't you?
I did. Brought it with me.
You're deceptive, Staubach. 45 seconds. 20-3 score, Giants. Deep drop by Lomax, and he's got a lot of time. He can run in. He's going to throw it, and he does into the end zone, and it's knocked away by Terry Jackson.
Of course, these Giants will be rooting hard for the Cowboys.
Lomax going to grow into being a good quarterback. You think he's got everything it takes?
I think he does.
I'd like to acknowledge executive producer is Terry O'Neill. Senior producer, Charles H. Milton III, who gave me my wake-up call from New York this morning through Red Eye. Our producer, Michael Burks. Great working with you again, Mike. And, of course, Bob Dumpy, our good friends, getting you the pictures of what was a crazy game, but it takes a lot of crazy people like us to bring it to you. It's been a lot of fun, gang. Thank you. Second down and 10. Outside, Lomax to Gray. At the 5, and a good reception, knocked down by Jackson. Mel Gray, did he used to give the Cowboys a lot of trouble when you guys used to lock up?
Oh, he did. He used to probably catch a touchdown pass in every game he played against the Cowboys. I think at one time it was 12 out of 13 games he caught a touchdown pass in. Today, I guess that was his, what, first reception today?
Second. I think they threw a screen to him on the first play of the game, didn't he? He's got
8 yards.
His streak is just, I guess, second to Harold Carmichael's, isn't it, on catch per game? It's getting a little bit colder, and a lot of people have headed for the TV sets, I'm sure, because the Eagles and the Cowboys. The shootout at Texas Stadium. For all we try to tell you about teams that don't like one another and all, I'm not kidding. The Eagles and the Cowboys do not like one another.
No. Something like that old Cowboy-Redskin rivalry in the 70s. Now it's the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Well, you still don't like some of those teams, do you? I mean, even though you're not playing any longer, it's just a natural thing there.
Hey, that rivalry is going to be picked up around this division with this Giant team. They add a few more players and keep doing the good job they're doing coaching this football team. They're going to be in the thick of it in that Eastern Division. St. Louis has got some potential, and Joe Gibbs at Washington, they're picking up too. So this East is going to be one of the great divisions in football.
Giants, they'll go 8-7. They have a chance to catch Dallas when it maybe doesn't mean anything next Saturday. They got a chance.
They'd love to see Dallas beat the Eagles and play Dallas without a lot of pressure as far as Dallas is concerned. And also, there's a chance the Cardinals could beat the Eagles next week.
First down from the 3. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown. Greg LaFleur, the rookie from LSU, made a sliding catch for a touch.
Here's the play. Harry Carson is really upset here. He says the ball was not caught. He's still yelling at the referee, and it looks like it was caught about half an inch off the ground on that replay.
Second touchdown reception for the talented young tight end. O'Donoghue now. Worley's hold. Good. Seconds left on the clock and a 20-10 score. Giants leading St. Louis. 4 in a row, and that streak will come to an end. The Giants hold on. And of course, they go home. The Giants leave for their last game at the Meadowlands. That's some ball yard, especially when Dallas comes to town. Remember last year?
Really had some tough games in that stadium. The Giants won and really hurt the Dallas Cowboys as far as their playoff hopes last year, getting the home field advantage with that 35-34 game. But it's always been tough in the Meadowlands for the Cowboys. Now the Giants have a lot at stake. I'm sure the fans will be out there full stadium regardless, but this time the game's going to be very meaningful for the New York Giants.
You and I will be in Philadelphia for the Cardinals against the Eagles. Cardinals are really beat up. They lost a lot of players today. O'Donoghue will kick it. The man from Dublin, Ireland.
O'Donoghue kicking off.
Leon Bright's waiting. 20 seconds left. A little wedge shot, and Stump Mitchell, almost gets it. There's going to be a flag because the ball went out of bounds, I suppose. They'll have to kick it again. That was a soccer shot.
Wow, look at that. San Diego came back.
24-23.
That makes that Tampa Bay Detroit really a big one. And of course, Cincinnati now has clinched the division.
Pittsburgh.
Now they lost Bradshaw. I'm sure they couldn't get much offense going. 10 points.
Well, the crowd had a little to boo about today. They sort of sat back and not so sure that the game plan was very well put together. Looked like they were drawn out of a hat.
Well, there's some big games next week, though, with Tampa, Detroit, and we mentioned the Jets and Green Bay, and Giants, the Cowboys.
Just getting you to Philadelphia is going to be quite an accomplishment in itself. Here it is. This is a half wedge. A fair catch is being called.
It's something you don't see very much, but you're allowed to fair catch a football on the kickoff.
Whistler made the fair catch. Now, you just don't want to get hurt in the last 20 seconds of a game that's 20-10. Baltimore, another loss.
Well, Christmas can't come too soon for Baltimore.
38-14. Redskins came a long way back, didn't they?
They have. After what, they lost their first 5.
This will be the first time that the Giants have been over 500 since 1972. When Big Red Webster was the coach. 9 years if my mathematics holds up. A long time. Here's Coach Jim Hannaford. Assistant coach here, and assistant out in San Diego, and he's a tough bird. He won't let him roll over. He'll have him ready for the Eagles.
So I've talked to the Dallas players this past week, and of course, they really want to beat Philadelphia anyway. But they especially don't want to go up to New York with a must-win situation by the Cowboys against the Giants. Coach Landry calls them the Giants.
Yep. Cowboys don't shoot straight like they used to. Isn't that a song that's running around right now?
Probably is. They got a new song, country western song in Dallas. One of the lyrics is, "Love to see Ed Jones jumping on and breaking the other team's bones." They got the fever now in Dallas.
That's a sophisticated place, you're right. We drink VO and Tab down there.
There's a happy man is right. He just passed number 56, a pretty darn good football player. Then those Giants have done a heck of a job. A big victory for them today in St. Louis against the Cardinal team that's